Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Everyday Podcast. I'm Dave, your host, and joining me here as always is our friendly co-host, Sophia.
Thanks, Dave. And hey, everyone. Here, we make learning English fun, simple, and totally relatable. So let me ask you this. Have you ever spent hours replaying a conversation in your head or stressing about a decision?
I have a feeling a lot of our listeners are nodding right now. Overthinking is something we've all experienced.
Oh, exactly. This happens to me all the time. Overthinking is when you can't stop your brain from thinking about the same thing over and over again.
Exactly. Like when you keep replaying a conversation in your head, wondering, did I say the wrong thing? Or when you spend 20 minutes deciding if you should text someone back with sure or sounds good.
Or when you start worrying about something that hasn't even happened yet.
Absolutely right. Overthinking can make simple situations so stressful. But don't worry, today we'll share tips to help you stop overthinking and teach you useful English phrases along the way.
And we want to hear from you, listeners. Have you ever overthought something? Think about it while we share our stories and tips.
Great idea. And as always, Marco, our vocabulary expert, will join us later to explain some important words and phrases.
Plus, we've created a free PDF with today's key vocabulary and practice sentences. You can download it from the link in the description. Okay, let's get started, Dave.
All right, Sophia, let's kick things up with a question. What's a time when you overthought something?
Oh, okay, last week. I had to choose a birthday gift for my friend.
Oh, wow. Gift shopping. Classic overthinking material. What happened?
Well, I kept asking myself, what if she doesn't like it? Should I get her something practical like a coffee mug or something fun like a necklace? And then I thought, what if someone else gets her the same thing?
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of pressure for one gift. What did you end up buying?
A gift card.
A gift card? After all that?
I know, Dave. But hey, I just couldn't decide. And what about you, Dave? When do you overthink?
For me, it's usually when I have to make a decision at work. Like last month, I had to write an email to my boss about a project update.
What was so hard about that? You've been doing it for years.
Well, I kept thinking, should I be more formal? Should I add more details? What if my email sounds too short and unprofessional? I rewrote that email 7 times.
7 times? Wow, that's next level overthinking, Dave.
I know. And the funny part? My boss replied with just, thanks.
So all that stress for nothing.
Exactly. But that's the thing about overthinking. It often makes small problems feel much bigger than they really are.
Totally. But what can we do about it? Do you have any tips for stopping overthinking?
Oh, I do. Here's tip 1. Write things down.
Write things down? How does that help?
When you write, it's like you're taking all those messy thoughts out of your head and putting them on paper. It clears your mind and helps you see the problem more clearly.
Okay, that makes sense. Sometimes when my brain feels full, I write a worry list. I just write down everything I'm worried about, and it actually makes me feel calmer.
That's a great idea. Okay, next, here's tip 2. Focus on what you can control.
Ooh, I like this one. Kind of reminds me of Stoicism philosophy. Overthinking is often about things we can't control, like what other people think of us or what might happen in the future.
Exactly. Instead of wasting energy on those things, ask yourself, what can I do right now?
For example, if you're worried about an exam, instead of overthinking, you could focus on studying.
Yes, focus on the actions you can take.
That's really helpful. Do you have one more tip, Dave?
Of course. Here's tip 3. Give yourself a time limit.
A time limit? How does that work?
Well, if you're stuck overthinking, say to yourself, okay, I'll think about this for 10 minutes and then I'll decide.
Oh, that's actually smart. It forces you to move forward instead of staying stuck.
Exactly. Overthinking loves to steal your time, but a time limit helps you take control.
I'm going to try that next time I can't decide what to eat.
Yes, you should try that. Okay, let's pause for a moment and bring in Marco, our vocabulary expert. Marco, what do you have for our listeners?
Thanks, Dave. And hi, everyone. Here are some useful words and phrases we've used so far. Overthinking. This means thinking too much about something, often in a way that makes you feel stuck or stressed. For example, I'm overthinking what to say in my text message. Clear your mind. This phrase means to feel calm and stop worrying. For example, writing things down can help clear your mind. Focus on. To pay attention to something. For example, focus on what you can control. Listeners, these words are great for daily conversations. Try using them today. Back to you, Dave and Sophia.
Thanks, Marco. That was really helpful.
Definitely. Marco always explains things so clearly. That's why he's our listeners' favorite.
Yes, he is. Okay, Sophia, let's keep going. What's another thing you do when you start overthinking?
I like to talk to someone about it.
That's a great idea, but why does talking help?
Because when you say your thoughts out loud, they sometimes sound less scary, and a friend might give you a new perspective.
Completely agree. Sometimes just hearing someone say, "It's not a big deal," is all you need to feel better.
Exactly. What about you, Dave? What's your go-to trick?
Right. For me, it's taking a walk.
That sounds nice. I might try that sometimes.
Yes. Fresh air and movement help me clear my mind. Plus, when I'm walking, I usually realize that whatever I'm worrying about isn't as important as I thought.
That's a good one. Definitely going to try that next time.
You should. And here's another trick I use. I ask myself, will this matter in a week?
Oh, I love that. It's a great way to stop worrying about little things.
Exactly. Most of the time, we overthink things that don't really matter in the long run.
Like my birthday gift problem last week.
Or my email.
I know, right? Overthinking can make simple things feel so complicated.
That's why it's important to stop it before it takes over. All right, let's bring Marco back for more vocabulary tips. Over to you, Marco.
Okay, Dave. And listeners, here are 3 more words and phrases we've used. Perspective. This means the way you see or understand something. For example, talking to a friend can help you see a different perspective. Go-to. This means your favorite or most reliable choice. For example, my go-to trick for overthinking is taking a walk. In the long run. This means over a long period of time. For example, in the long run, most worries don't matter. These phrases are great for daily conversations. Practice them with a friend. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks, Marco. Your explanation is clear and easy to understand as always. So, Sophia, what's your biggest takeaway from today?
I think it's focusing on what I can control. That's such a helpful mindset.
I agree. For me, setting a time limit has been a game changer.
And listeners, we'd love to hear from you. What do you do when you're overthinking? Let us know in the comments.
Remember this, it's normal to overthink sometimes. The key is to not let it take over your life.
Yes, be kind to yourself. Overthinking doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It just means your brain is working overtime.
That's so true. And keep in mind, you don't have to have everything figured out all at once. Take things one step at a time.
Yes, and like we said earlier, try to focus on what you can control and let go of the rest.
Great advice. And don't forget to download the free PDF in the description. It's included with today's vocabulary, example sentences, and even some exercises to help you practice.
Yes, and if you found today's episode helpful, make sure to give us a like and share with your friends who are learning English too.
If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. We're here providing the most effective way to learn English with fun, easy-to-follow episodes to help you improve and tackle life's little challenges.
And of course, to achieve the final goal, fluency. You've got this, listeners. Whether it's overthinking or learning a new language, just remember, every small step matters.
That's right. Stay positive, keep learning, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are just part of the journey. We believe in you.
All right, that's all for today's episode. Keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next episode of the English Everyday Podcast. Bye, everyone.